Hi, in this lecture we are going to be looking at two advanced machine learning techniques, and they are called artificial neural networks and support vector machines. Now these two techniques are called what are called black box methods, and the reason they are called black box method is that they look like a black box inside which some magic happens. You give them the input data and it magically does something and comes out with the predictions. It is not that easy or simple to explain or understand how these artificial neural networks works or the support vector machines work. They typically need some solid understanding, some foundational computer science and foundational mathematics, and then based on which you can improve upon and then trying to understand how these ones work. The good news though is that these ones are again available for you implemented in certain libraries, and for practice purposes, for usage purposes, all you have to do is call these libraries, pass in the data, and they will do the magic for you. So in this lecture we aren't going to really take a good look at what these algorithms do. Rather, we are just going to be doing an overview here because, as I said, it's pretty complex in trying to explain these ones. And not that it is impossible, there are texts available for that, but given that these are complex topics, we just choose to skim through them and simply focus upon how we can use them in practice. Artificial neural networks are inspired by how the biological human brain works. And it is a black box algorithm that is going to take a lot of time in order to explain and understand. It is used highly in the artificial intelligence domain, where things are fuzzy, the relationships are fuzzy, data is not always correct, data is not always complete, and it has now been extended into the use for machine learning. It helps discover complex correlations hidden in data. It works similar to the human brain. It helps discover pretty complex correlations with incomplete data and fuzzy relationships. All of that is accounted for. It works very well with noisy data, and it works very well with variables whose relationships are not that easy to understand. The prediction part is fast, building the model is slow. So predictions are fast, building the model is slow, and it is very easy to work with. It is used in a lot of artificial intelligence situations of machine learning, like learning about facial recognition or character recognition, sensors and stuff like that. Support vector machines is another black box method. It is again the inner workings are tricky and complex and difficult to understand. It is called one of the kernel methods. There is something called kernel programming or kernel mathematics that goes into explaining all these of stuff. And the algorithm is based on what is called vector geometry and statistical learning theory. Again, you need some basics of these fields before you start to understand or explain what support vector machines do. It can model really complex relationships, and it is very popular for usage in pattern recognition, like facial recognition and text recognition and those kind of areas of machine learning. Not really in the business situations, but in these kind of pattern recognition situations is where support vector machines are usually used. And successful applications of support vector machines happens in bioinformatics and image recognition, those kind of areas. And it is used for both classifications and regression problems for both discrete and continuous outcomes. So, and they are also pretty popular in these areas. In the case of businesses, again, these are available implemented in libraries. We just have to pass in the variables, and you're going to get the output, and then use the output for your work. Support vector machines obviously take a long time to run because they are complex, but predictions are fairly accurate when you use support vector machines. So again, we are not going to get in depth in this particular course because this is more a beginner course, but then there are a lot of material that is available to you if you want to go through them and understand these ones furthermore. Thank you.